All right, so we should be live. Somebody want to give me a sound check, make sure I'm not just sitting here talking to myself? I would appreciate it. Friday live show with mail call, haul, and a rant resolved today. Thank you, Joe. I always get worried when, because of the lag is so long, I'm going, okay, I guess I am talking to myself. All right, so I have been busy, and more busy. You guys all watched the premiere yesterday on part 14 of Building Aurora. I've been diligently working on part 15, and I'll show you what we got. There we go. Got it back on the track. Hey, Artie. Good to have you. So, the street is back on the track. The Motorman, you'll notice that panel that's lit up to the right. I'll give you a little finger pointing right here. All right, the Motorman is in and powered up. I do not have the sensors installed. But when I bought the Motorman, I bought the optional extra switch plate, which allows it, the switch, to go from normal, whatever you're feeding it, whether it be DC or DCC, allows you to switch from that to the Motorman control. Right now I have it set up for just the DCC control. And if we fire up track power, and there we go. Hey, John. Other John, number 2. Now, you may think it's going to run off the end, but it doesn't, because based upon previous experience of locomotives running off the track and layout and hitting the floor, before I put power to that rail, I made sure I had some clear plexiglass or Lexan mounted up there where it is impossible for it to go off the deep end. Now on the right side, it's not that way, but it's only a 4-inch drop. And besides that, it eventually will have a seam brake bridge there. It's hard to describe what I have envisioned, but trust me, it won't fall off. Once the sensors are in place, it won't anyway. What now? There's some stuff. Oh, yeah, my layout does look like an earthquake hit. But notice the Eola freight yard is empty, and the earthquake took down all of the Aurora buildings except the new ones, right? Now what Artie's talking about is behind me, back there. Those are all the buildings that belong on Aurora, plus a bunch of tools, plus the mail calls, plus. It's a disaster in here right now. But the track is powered, and actually all the street lights and the building lights work. Alexa, lights off. So we'll turn the lights off and switch back over to the Aurora view. And it takes 30 seconds. But you will see lights come on. What you see in front of that locomotive looks like the building's lit is actually just the headlight of the loco. So I'll back that up. There, we got lights. All the street lights. All right, there's actually 6 of them. The ones you see are the ones on the other side of the street pointed this way. The ones that are on this side of the street point the other direction, so you don't really see those. But you can see how the buildings are lit up as well. There's a little bit of a light bleed on the bigger building to the right in a couple spots, but some signage will cover that up. And just to give you a better idea here, there's enough room behind these buildings to drop in the flats. Well, I screwed that up real well. Oh well. There's some double-sided tape and it's stuck and peeled the front off of one of my flats. So that one's going to have to go behind one of the tall buildings, whether it wants to or not. So that kind of gives you an idea there. And then you got, let's see, the furniture factory would be in front of that, and the icing, cold storage. So switch back to me. I got my flats from 2 different places. One, PGH, Train Fanatic. He's a sponsor on, I think, Heath's channel. But I had bought some from him way before that. And what I like about his is he's got some LEDs, like over the overhead door lights, stuff like that. And they're not any more expensive than anybody else's flats in the grand scope of things. These came from another company somewhere in Ohio. I can't remember the name. I was somewhat disappointed since I ordered like 10 distinctively different flats, and I got 6 distinct different flats and 4 repeats. Okay, so I was not happy with them. And they're out of Ohio. I can't remember their name, but when you pull up background flats, they're one of the big ones. So they're the one that's not PGH Train Fanatic. So, matter of fact, they're on eBay. So let me pull up eBay and I'll tell you. HO. Joe background flats. And Tell you what, Nick at the PGH Train Fanatics got a bunch listed, and his are the better ones. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not seeing the ones I have. Maybe they're not doing them anymore. Well, Nick's is PTF Design. He's a PGH Train Fanatic on YouTube, but PTF Designs. Still looking. I don't see the other one. Try different search. Try backdrop, because they do some backdrops too. HO. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, here it is. They're out of Cayuga Falls, Ohio. They're called trackside backdrops. Trackside backdrops is the, and they do flats too. But they're the ones that these came from. But I prefer the PTF designs. Oh, well, hi and bye, Lynn. Missed you. I was too busy on eBay. The other thing that I did, if you look over here, is Aurora is going to have a station platform right along here. And I figured as long as I had everything cleared off and had it up to do wiring and such, I would add in lights that go on the station platform. So those are all wired in. Of course, they're not mounted yet. They're just wired in and sitting there. Okay, so a little station platform there. Hey, Ian. Glad you could join us. I have the PTF design ones. Most people don't see a lot of them because they're on the back side of Chicago. Let me see if I can show them because they are lighted. Which one is it? This one? No. This one. Yeah. So you can see some of them back there. See how they're lit? And then also over here in Berwyn Cicero, these flats over here are all from PTF Design. And no, he's not a sponsor. I don't have sponsors. So nothing in it for me. If I like something, I tell you. If I don't like it, I tell you. The ones over in Aurora, they're okay. Nothing to write home about. Oh, Mr. John Linton. I think you missed this shot, John. There you go. Now, I will say, Mr. Linton, there's a little bit of light bleed right here, a little bit of light bleed right there. All right, but those will be covered up with some signage eventually. You got to remember that is that distance back from front to back that those bulbs are in is 3/8 of an inch. So those bulbs are virtually right up against the front of the building. And even though the outside's painted and the inside's painted, it still gives a little light bleed. And you're more than welcome anytime you can come make it. Oh, I see I have Lee in the basement. There you go.
Hello, Steve.
I get busy talking, you know me.
Oh, I know you too well, yeah. I think we go escaped with the cows.
My comment?
Oh yeah. There's a big investigation.
Yeah.
There's a big investigation going on as we speak to how he's got out. Yeah. You'll see in the next video what's going on with it.
Yeah, I'll be glad when I'm done with the Motorman, get those sensors in, and can put the buildings back up there and put the Mirth mobile up. So.
Hello, John Linton. Hello, Artie. Hello, John Skookill. And everyone in chat.
A piece of aluminum foil? No. No. Those buildings are sealed. I can't get into them anymore. And they're permanently mounted to that base. So it's got to be outside signage.
Mm. And
actually, I could put like a little exterior fake light and say that the light bleed is nothing more than the overhead security lighting. So for Mr. Linton's benefit.
I like that the foil golden foil idea you done now on that, Steve.
Which one?
The tape, the
the copper tape.
And I wonder what YouTuber that come from.
It came from Dave, but while we were on your stream.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. Yeah.
Now that was the same Dave that showed up this last week, right? Out of the blue. Wasn't it?
No.
No?
No, you're on about Microscenics, Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, no. There's Dave that came on my show, the one that was working on turnouts. He's stateside.
Oh, okay.
It was Dave Williams.
I've slept since then. That was well over a year ago.
Yeah.
Pushing 2 years now, probably.
Oh, I've been mad busy on making trees. Let's see if I can get
the only thing I wish, Joe, I wish there was a way in those buildings that are back there that they and I could probably do it, but I'm afraid I'd ruin them. Hollow out pockets in some of those windows and light up, through the have nano or 3mm LEDs in those windows shining through the paper on it. But you'd have to cut out the backside without damaging the front side.
And me hedges.
Oh yeah, that looks good, Lee.
And you wouldn't. They're actually out of scoring pads what you wash the dishes with.
Oh yeah, okay, like a Scotch-Brite.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you how they start off as. That's how they start as.
Uh-huh.
And just put scatter on them. Build up on scatter. I'm working on one as we speak. There's one there. There's nothing on the other side, as you can see. I'm slowly working on it. And whenever I'm working on anything now, I'm getting the camera rolling constantly now, so I'm constantly filming.
Just run that engine back and forth.
You have to. Hey, this layout's come on leaps and bounds, so.
I was going to tinker with putting those sensors in during the live stream, but I'm not going to do it.
do it on a video. You've got more time with videos. That's what I look at.
Yeah. I've got the pockets are cut. All I have to do is put the sensors in and connect them.
Yeah.
But that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've created me live for Sunday. It's done.
Yeah.
I've got
all right. Well, let's do.
Your first mail.
I've got a bunch to do. Let's do a haul first.
Yeah. All right? That sounds good to me. Good big mail call.
Let me preface this by my haul is, of course, I went down to Gulf Coast Model Trains down in Sarasota. It's about a 45-minute drive, 45 miles, 45-minute drive from my house. And I just enjoy going down and spending a couple hours down there with Kelly and or Dave and shooting the bull and so forth. Well, in November of 2020, okay, Walther's, season, Christmas season catalog came out, and in that they had a couple things I wanted. They had a twin pack of Burlington trailers, and they had two different road number Burlington CB&Q bulkheaded flat cars. Didn't take you with me. Again, that was November. I think the catalog may come out late October, but I ordered those through Gulf Coast Model Trains, Walters, November of 2020. They were due to arrive, the trailers were due to arrive in December of 2020, and the bulkhead flats in the January of 2021. Okay. A year and a half later, they finally arrive. So, here are I guess I should change screens. Here are the trailers.
They're nice trailers.
Finally arrived. Where am I going to put them? I don't know.
Somewhere on the layout. Somewhere
I thought they were going to be pups. All right. 34 to 40 foot trailers. These are much longer. Well, hell, where's my scale? Where is my scale? It's probably out in the garage. I'll measure them later. So anyway, I got those, and I got my 2. They better be different road numbers. I didn't check. Yeah,
If they are, redo them with new numbers.
For the price I paid for them, I don't want to have to redo them.
So yeah, you shouldn't have to if you pay the price you paid for them.
Especially since they're supposed to have different road numbers, and they do. So
I
have both of these.
Nice.
I have lumber loads I've made, and they're sitting up here.
Lumber loads. I like making lumber loads.
These are just lumber loads. I've
got pipe loads for my low loaders.
Yeah, I could put pipe loads on one.
I make my you know how I make my pipe loads. Mine are made out of straws.
Yeah, that works.
It does. It looks good. Yeah. And I don't even paint the straws because they're already coloured. Because you don't see them, they go under the ground, don't they? So you don't really see them.
If you do over here, if you're doing modern era, all right, you probably want to paint them that bluish green that you see so much over here, and then flare. You can. I saw somebody take. I forgot what they used, but they used like a flaring tool, and flared one end just like pipes.
Yeah,
pipes are. So that was pretty cool. So that is our haul and rant resolve.
Yeah, rant resolve.
Because every month they would set a new arrival date, and the last time I saw arrival date back in February was April 28th, and I'm going, yeah, like that's going to happen. Well, it did. Thus the trip down to Sarasota.
There's another tree, little bush. I'm in the proceed doing.
Yeah, Artie, I think they're. I thought they were going to be smaller, but I'd have to get my scale out, and it's. I thought I had it here, but it's not. It's got to be. Where is it? Like, I think it was you that said, Artie, bomb's gone off here, and I can't find anything.
I had that last week when I removed my bench. I can find everything now.
Somebody want to do the math? I think I got my tape measure.
Nah, I don't want to do the tape. I don't want to do the maths, Dave. Leave that.
All right, so they are. Just under 5.5 inches. 6 inches would be. All right, so using a calculator, if I take Yeah, 40 footers. Maybe 38s.
They're not bad. Schoolgirl's saying 40s. Artie's saying 38.
He's the accountant. He knows.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If you're going to go by anyone, Schoolgirl John. He's the one that's the accountant.
The numbers guy.
Yeah, and he's the number crunching guy. He knows his numbers.
Well, I'm glad to see that all the lights are still on at Aurora. The last batch of LEDs I bought, it came in from China, kept burning out. They were nanos though, and I think about a good third of them
Yeah,
burned
that's the
out.
problem that I have with the ones I get from China from Wish.
And I know some people say, "Oh, you're got the leads on backwards." No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Because half of the one they're all wired the same, and half of them worked, half of them burned up. So they may have had them backwards, but I didn't. Anyway. Hey, Digger!
I
Glad you're
dig
here.
her.
Choo choo. The one thing I saw down at Gulf Coast Model Trains, they had this little switcher. I mean, little. And it's a Walthers, and it's DCC, no sound. Um, and it looks like the old Plymouth Hustlers, except about half the size. All right. And the ones they had 3 different colors, all unlettered. So what I'm gonna do, we're getting ready to take a trip. So when I get back, I'm gonna get one of those to run up there on Aurora with a box car, and just let the motorman take it back and forth.
Yeah, I'm looking at doing something like that. I am actually back up. I've been back up in the lofts. I went up there yesterday, and I'm rewiring the whole layout. So I've done some filming back up there of what's to come with that. The
A
new
train store
Jerry.
south of Crossville. The only thing south of Crossville is the Cumberland Plateau. Is it in south side of Crossville, or some small town south of Crossville? Those who don't know, that's where Mr. Linton moved to. He abandoned me and moved to the hills of Tennessee, up on the Cumberland Plateau.
Yeah, he's abandoned you, Annie.
Yeah.
I can actually run trains now because I've cleaned the track properly, and it can run trains.
Somebody asked me, and I forget who it was, why I have all these isolation switches around the layout. Well, right now, the roundhouse is practically empty, along with some other places that engines are stored, because I used them to move everything off of Aurora. Well, there's not enough sidings with isolation switches elsewhere. So as I walk around the layout, I mean, I don't know, y'all probably can't hear it, but all the engines are fired up and running. Okay. And which kind of drives me nuts. So.
Oh, I've got after this stream, I've got my video to watch after this.
There's a town southeast of Murfreesboro with an antique mall, John, that has a guy in there that has trains. So I am told. And then there's a small little train shop in Murfreesboro, but it's more Lionel, and it's no bigger than my train room. So you is your shed gonna arrive this weekend, John? Linton? I know the answer. I'm just ragging on him. All right, Ian. You take care.
Take care, Ian. See you there again, mate.
Yeah, I worked for a company for 20 years. They cooked their books. A bunch of them ended up going to big boy jail. Just a drop in the bucket, John. Get after it.
Not worse.
Artie, I thought you had the showstopper. I hear you say that. Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
There was light.
That is cool, that, Steve, how you get the lights to come on.
Oh, it's the pigs and the cows are on a smart switch too. And the neat when like neighbor kids come by, turn the cows and the pigs on for them, and I'll turn the chimneys, the smoke generators on over at the packing plant and the brewery. Okay. Yeah, there you go, Mystic. Book for blackmails. I don't know. Y'all probably can't see, but here's the leads. There's a plug on them that go into where the sensors go. I'll have to program the sensors, but I don't want to do that because I'll screw it up just sure as hell if I get in a hurry. Same thing on the other side. The only thing I'm worried about in this process is if I ever have to take this top off, I'll have to remember to disconnect those leads.
Have you put them on a block you can undo, or?
Well, there's plugs on them.
Like, you put them
these here plug right into the sensor.
Oh, cool. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, I'll just have to unplug and back feed it.
Yeah.
Out of the pocket. So.
Yeah.
And the way I have the pockets designed is I cut away the plywood, and then I took some strip styrene on the underside, so these sensors will fit right down in that pocket. And then I just cut away the ties where the infrared beam comes up. So it shouldn't be that difficult. But again, I don't want to do it live. I don't know how Heath does it, doing stuff live like that. Maybe why he gets the big blue smoke. Hey, Randall, how you doing? All right, Mystic, you take care. Be safe.
Be safe, Mystic. See you around.
Surprised Jason hasn't popped in on his
I
lunch
know,
hour.
I'm amazed how Jason isn't in. Train freak. I've got to go and create a thumbnail after this.
You know, I'm impressed with the Motorman, how easy.
You spoke too soon. You just copied.
And yes, Jason, we were just talking about you. And now I know what you mean by link.
Yeah, we do. We know what Jason means when we say he says link. He says link.
See him, he's down there. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hi, Jason.
No sound.
No sound.
Okay.
Can only happen to Jason, can't it? I'll have something new on my channel next Friday, next week. Well, the week after. I'm going to be getting some footage of UK trains.
We hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I don't know what happened. That was weird. But no, what I was saying is, as soon as I popped in to your feed on YouTube, the first thing I heard you say is, "I'm surprised Jason hasn't showed up yet."
Yeah, ears must have been burning.
So,
right on cue, buddy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, did you get your Motorman installed yet?
No, I'm waiting until I build this demo layout for it. It's not going on my main layout.
That's right. Okay.
So, and right now I'm having to take a break from a lot of my model railroading stuff because I've got a honey-do list of things that need to get done around the outside of the house before the heat comes.
I know. I did see that post you had up on your on your community tab, Jason.
Yeah,
you get it done before you get it in the neck off your missus.
Yeah, one of the things that we started on back in the fall before it got real cold was we started painting on our house. And I've only got 3 walls done and none of the trim.
So you're getting told to get it done and come off the layout.
Yeah, and when you're painting the house, especially like in this part of the country, you are limited to the spring or the fall, because if it's too hot, then during the wintertime your paint will crack and chip, and then you get water damage. If you do it during the winter, then in the summertime it will bubble up and chip, crack, and you get water damage. So you have to do it, around a specific temperature.
Yeah, could understand.
Above 55.
Yep.
And I forget what the top end is. I want to say 78 or 80.
Yes, it's like that. Yeah. So
same thing here. When I repainted the house, I did the same thing. I started in the fall and finally finished in the spring. But I could paint all year, so
right.
I just didn't.
Well, and with us enclosing the train room or the garage and turning it into a train room, and we redid the siding on outside the house, that's when my wife was like, if we're going to repaint the house, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And I agreed, because it was like you had most of the house that was a color with paint, and then you had all this brand new wood paneling on the other side, where we made everything, look flush and good. And so that's kind of where we're at with that. So I've got that to do and a couple of other things. Unfortunately for Rick, I'm going to have to cut one of his family members down. So that way I've got some firewood for this upcoming winter, and you definitely don't want to do that in summer.
Right.
So need to try to get that done before the heat too, so that way
Hey guys, what's happening?
I don't have to worry about snakes.
Rondo.
Hey, Randall.
What's going on, Randall?
We had you on cam for a second,
what's
and
happening?
then your picture faded. So I don't know if you did it or not.
Yeah. I'm sitting here at the gas station filling the van up right now, so I'm not in a place that's got a very good signal right now.
Okay.
Hey, Randall.
I've been busy doing trees, Jason.
Oh, those look good, Lee. Hey, Randall, I got a question for you. So the BNSF local, I caught it coming through yesterday between Little Rock and Memphis. Why does GP39 3s have 2 AC units on the roof of the cab? Is one AC unit not enough?
I can't hear it, the stacking up too bad.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. Why does BNSF locomotives have 2 air conditioning units on the roof of the cab? Did you get it?
I have no clue, so don't ask me. The only thing I can think of is if they're on the old Santa Fe route.
Yeah, he's got
In the
his
summertime?
problems because he's just
No.
dropped.
These were the local. They were GP39 3s.
Okay, I wouldn't know then.
They all they run is from Memphis to Little Rock, one time a day. That's all they do. Like I don't understand, why do you need 2? Is one not enough?
Yeah, as John Linton's just put in the chat there, because 2 are better than 1. That's what John Linton's put. 2's better
I
than
would
1.
say that if that's the case, the original one wasn't spec'd out right.
No, it was literally. I put a picture up in Heath's Discord, but it was literally like the units were side by side.
Yeah, I know, but just because something's designed one way,
Yeah,
meaning the design is right.
I've never seen anything like it. It blew my mind when I saw it.
Yeah, because what you see is not indicative necessarily of the capacity of the unit.
Yeah.
All right, so it may look like it's big enough to handle something, it may not be, and thus necessitated a second one. I don't know.
I mean, I could understand if you originally put one in, and it was like, say, center of the cab, right? And then you go and put a second one in, put it right behind it.
But these were side by side. Huh?
These are side by side, and they look like they're spaced perfectly.
Yeah, that. Huh. I don't know.
And I mean, I'll put it this way: those cabs are not that big. I mean, you're talking a GP39-3. It's roughly the same size cab as a GP38 and a GP40.
Huh. New.
I mean, you can only fit 3 people in there. So that's like I'm trying to figure out. Like, I've got my 37-foot camper. It's got 2 AC units in it, but it's 37 feet long.
Right.
This cab is what? Maybe, I don't know how wide these things are. What, 12,
Yeah,
14 feet wide? Maybe wider than that.
but they're
I
designed
don't know. It
based
just
on
doesn't make
BTU. Right. How much BTU is necessary to cool a given amount of space, and the locomotive is generating a whole lot of heat. And I would suffice to say that it's probably little to no insulation. But that said, why aren't all of them with 2 AC units then? So I don't know.
exactly. Most of them only had one for years.
Yeah, hell, go back in my era, and they probably didn't have any.
Yeah. Well, back in your era, they would just open all the windows and let the wind go through.
True.
I mean, honestly, I don't see it generating any more heat than, because, I mean, when you think about the layout of the locomotive,
Uh-huh.
you got your cab. Right behind the cab is all the electronics. Okay? Right behind it, your prime mover, and right behind it is the generator or alternator that powers your, what is it? Not stepper motors, but traction motors.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to think of. So all the main heat is actually to the very back end of the cab.
Yeah.
Now, when they do go to dynamic braking, it does generate some heat above the prime mover, but that's when they had that exhaust fan, right above the prime mover to get that heat out. But the generator itself is what's generating more heat than the prime mover, and that's why there's more fans on the back.
Isn't there a restroom in the nose?
There is a toilet in the nose. That is correct.
Maybe it's to ventilate that. But then again,
Well, there is a vent. There is a vent on the top of that nose. There's supposed to be a vent.
yeah, I'm just throwing shit out. See what'll stick.
It blew my mind. It's the first time I've ever seen it, because normally, like with BNSF's local that comes through the area, they would have like a GP38 and then a -8
Have you
on
looked?
there.
Have you looked in any I forget what the name of the site is that you can look up unit numbers and
You talking about like Railroad Picture Archives?
Yeah. Have you looked up in there
No,
to see if
I haven't looked them up on there, but
Randall's back?
so I don't know if Randall heard my original question, because see, I know he works up in BNSF country. So I figured if anyone would know, it would probably be Randall.
Yeah.
Well, here's Artie brings up a deal, that they did that on some imported.
I'll be out
US,
from under this thing here in just a second. Maybe I'll get a better signal then.
They did it on some imported units. Went to Australia. Maybe. All right. When they put these things on the line, they just may build X number of them. All right, all the same, spec'd out the same, and maybe they spec them for someplace like Australia or someplace more desolate region. And they had extras, and BNSF got a deal on them. I don't.
I could see that if they were like big road units, but not road switchers. And these look pretty dang new. And we lost Randall again.
Again.
Yeah.
Poor Randall.
Poor Randall, he's having one of those days.
Hey,
He
anybody
must
need
be up there.
he's somewhere that doesn't have very good reception, that's for sure. Anybody need a Athearn light clip?
Like, no. Nope.
That one, I think that's the one that came out of my Santa Fe SD45 over there. Man, I went all the way down to Gulf Coast model trains on Wednesday. One of the items
Scott
on the
says
list,
one of your Bart fan. That's funny.
one of the things on my list was to pick up a decoder for that SD45, and I forgot.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you forgot to get one thing you went for. That's not good.
Yeah. Oh well. That's why I on my phone in the notes section, I have like a note for Lowe's, and I just keep a list, compile a list.
Yep, I do
shopping
the
list for me
same.
at Lowe's.
I'll do that when I need stuff for me to, and I need to go down. I go into town. I'll look on the list and see where I need to get supplies.
Yeah, I
There's
do that as
two more
well.
trees, two more little bushes.
All right.
And actually, believe it or not, that you know what they're off. They're dead bits of tree. Like bushes out in the garden. I've just broke them off, dried them out, and then covered them in foliage. It works.
And I don't know what I'm going to do when I finish Aurora.
Have you?
Get back
A
on your
layout's never.
operation pro.
Yeah.
A layout's never
Well,
finished, though, Steve. You know who's going to add to it.
I still have the suburban downtown scene right here at my that goes above my bench. And I still have Chicago, so and there's still actually a lot of scenic stuff left to do for Aurora and the yard area. So
You can do it.
no hurry.
A model train layout's never finished. You know who's add to it.
Okay, so let's do our next mail call. And back in March, I've been wanting to, and I finally bit the bullet. Went ahead and joined the Print of the Month Club for mini prints. And I was getting worried because I hadn't gotten anything.
You might make yourself bigger so everyone can see.
I always forget to do that.
There you go.
That's what he should. That looks better.
So I finally got it from mini prints yesterday, the first one. And I was surprised because I was expecting, to get animals and people and things like that. And I open it up, the first thing I see is this. So I'm going, oh, what the hell? And it's laser cut wood is what it is.
Is that from ITLA?
No. Oh yeah, it is. It's from ITLA, manufactured for mini prints. And what it is, it's deck framing. So I dig in a little bit further, and lo and behold, there's a mobile home. And the mobile home comes apart so that you can get into it and paint it.
Put in lighting and detail it and whatnot.
Yes, exactly. And I'll just leave it that way. So anyway, you got a nice little mobile home.
Okay.
There it is. Come on. There we go. See? So I can get it all painted up. It's got sinks and bathtub and just all kinds of stuff in here. So that's pretty cool.
That does look.
That looks just like my mother. That looks just like my mother-in-law's mobile home.
Looks like my grandmother's. So, but there's also some steps with a railing.
Oh, nice.
And a couple of, those braided fabric lawn chairs.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of those.
Oh, deck chairs as we call here.
I want to watch you paint those.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll be one color. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't have a mobile home park.
Make
You
little
don't have to have
seats.
a mobile home park. Just park it out in the country somewhere.
I don't have a place to park in the country.
You don't have like a barn field or something?
A what?
You know, like a cattle field or something.
Yeah, but it's on a hill.
Well, that's where your ranch hand is living in.
Well, it'd have to sit on an angle. There's no flat spot for it.
Oh, well, then what you do is you dig out part of the hill so that way they excavated a flat spot.
Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not tearing that hill out.
It's too much like hard work, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah. What I may do is back behind the engine house in Berwyn Cicero, there's some tree areas. I may put it back in there, buried in the trees, so that the only time you really would see it is on a cab ride type video. But I got to get it painted up and do all that stuff first. But anyway, I was pretty impressed. You know, for $25 for the month, you can get that. That's pretty cool.
No, that's not bad at all, especially with the ITLA stuff, because that stuff's not cheap.
No, I know.
Trust me, I know from experience.
Yeah, that building you're building was definitely not cheap. I know. Rob,
and I ended up.
Rob Bennett built.
I ended up buying I bought two more building kits of his.
Uh huh.
So I'll have 3 ITLA buildings on my layout when I get them built.
That'll be cool.
It will be cool. I do like your layout though,
when I get
Jason.
around-
It's a nice layout.
When I get around to Chicago, I need to
Thank
go
you.
to more hotel, and then Lundy Studios has some high-rise type buildings that I'll need to get. I just, Hillbilly, I don't have a spot for it.
He's going to be thinking of somewhere to put it.
Well, I might have a spot. Now that Hillbilly said,
What about round by your scrapyard? Is there nowhere there you can find?
there's really nowhere there, but. Let me get a camera down. I do have like a hillside area.
Why don't you just slap it in the middle of Chicago?
That sounds a good idea.
Just have a tractor pulling it through Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, technically, you don't have to have it, parked somewhere. You could have it attached to a vehicle.
Well, then I wouldn't have the deck. Well, how about here? Up here on
Well,
the
who said you had to use the deck for that? You could put the deck somewhere else.
How about here on the hillside? Buried into. This is planned to be trees up here, but I could put the trailer up there.
It could
And then
be
plant your
good.
trees around it.
Yeah.
So,
That'd look good there, Steve.
that could be the yard master's place. I could put a stairway coming down here to the interlocking tower.
There you go.
That's about the only place it could possibly go. Unless another option. All right. Hang on. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There's a little bit of an area. All right here.
Nah, the first area looked
Yeah.
better.
First area.
I agree with you.
First area.
Yeah, first area.
That's too cluttered. You go and put that caravan there, it's going to look too cluttered.
What you need, okay, if you're going to put like a building, like an office building there by the roundhouse, it needs to be like an old boxcar off the trucks.
Oh, I already got a box car over at the salvage yard as the office. But there's a little shack right. You can't see it because of the trees, but there's a shack right here.
Well, like the era you run, it would need to be like a wooden, like a 36-foot wooden boxcar.
Yeah, it's an old ice bunker reefer there at the salvage yard.
Yeah.
That I used. But I got a little shack here at the roundhouse, and then I got the attached office area for the over there as well.
I like what Highs just said. Put another layer on. Put another layer on top.
The layer on top of what?
Your layout. Another.
It's physically impossible, High. This whole room is glass. There is nowhere to hang a layout.
Quite the contrary.
See you later,
You can hang it from the ceiling.
No, not happening.
You can hang it. You can hang it from the ceiling. You put those threaded rods up through your rafter, bolt them in, washer and bolt them.
The problem
and that's what
is,
you hang them by.
There's nowhere you can't get up there. All right, you physically cannot get up there because all my ceilings in the house are what do you call them?
Just go through the roof.
Yeah. No.
Doesn't like the idea of that, does he?
What I have is what I have. Now,
yeah.
It's funny because everybody's trying to buy homes down here in Florida and cash offers and stuff like that, and the house down the street just sold for an exorbitant amount of money, like 3.5 times what we bought our house for 5 years ago. My wife said, well, hell, all right, somebody wants to offer us that kind of money, we'll sell. And I said, where are we going to live, honey? And she goes, let's go up to the kids in Tennessee. I said, we had this conversation before we bought this house. You're the one who wanted to come to Florida. I wanted to stay up there in Tennessee near the kids. So now she's more.
Now, what part of Tennessee though?
Where I wanted to go was actually where John Linton moved to, Sparta. All right, probably closer to Cookville.
Okay.
Somewhere near Center Hill Lake. Except my wife doesn't want to drive around all over the place, through all the hills and so forth.
I'm trying to think. Cookville, that's between Nashville and Knoxville, right?
Correct. It's about 1 hour east of Nashville.
Okay. That's over there close to where the time zone change is.
That's further east, Crossville.
Crossville, okay. So my wife's grandparents, or now grandpa, lives over in Morristown, which is east of Knoxville.
Okay, yeah, beautiful.
Like you're going to go up to Bristol.
Yeah.
So we rarely make the trek through there. I mean, it's all day driving from Central Arkansas all the way over to Eastern Tennessee. It takes all day.
That's on the west side of 81, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've been through there. I got a good friend who lives in Rutledge.
Yeah, it's close. It's close. Yeah, it's close to Rutledge.
Exactly. And I know what it's like traveling across Tennessee, like you're talking about, because we used to live in Memphis, and our middle daughter went to school in Roanoke, Virginia. All right, so it's like 480 some miles diagonally across Tennessee. Um, so long trip.
You want to hear an interesting fact? Bristol, Tennessee is closer to Toronto, Canada, than it is to Memphis, Tennessee.
Huh. Hey, Andy. Really?
That is an
Hey,
interesting
Andy!
fact.
All right, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
It's only like a few miles shorter.
I'm sure.
And it might not be Toronto, but it's Canada. I know Bristol's closer to Canada than Memphis.
Probably Niagara.
That's all
Maybe.
the edges.
And I don't think it's like a driving. I think it's as the crow flies
Yeah,
type distance.
yeah, because you'd have to go across Lake Erie, like at Cleveland. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no bridge, but as the crow flies, I could see that. Driving,
Yeah.
no.
I think it's as the crow flies.
Yeah, as the crow flies, it's close. Bristol's closer to Canada than to Memphis. You could say that.
Yeah.
Just looking at a map. Yep. Mr. Andy.
I mean, Tennessee is a long state.
Yeah. Oh, tell you what, try driving from Key West to Pensacola.
Well, I didn't go from Key West. I went from West Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale
That's
up
still
to
a long way.
Jacksonville, over to Pensacola.
Yeah.
I have done that.
That's a long one. I've done
And
Miami to Pensacola.
it wasn't really that long when I got stuck behind traffic that wanted to go 95, 100 miles an hour on I-95. So I was just with the flow, I'm like, hey, we're making good time. I'm glad my wife was asleep, because if she would have been awake, she would have been just slapping the crap out of me, like, slow down.
Was it at night?
No, it was during the day.
Man, you were lucky, because normally that's the traffic's belly button asshole there, up 95.
Well, it was between Fort Lauderdale and Jacksonville. Like around Daytona, St. Augustine.
Yeah, but that whole 95 is always packed.
Yeah.
I avoid it like the plague. Instead of driving up I-4 to through Orlando to Daytona and then up 95, I go up 301 through the center of the state all the way to Yulee, all right, which is just before the Georgia border. So just to avoid all that stuff.
So on our way back, when we got off the boat at West Palm Beach, we took I-95 up to Jacksonville, took 10 over to Lake City, and then took, 85 that goes through Macon up to Atlanta?
75.
Is that 75?
Yep.
And then when we got to Atlanta, we took 20 to Birmingham, and then took that, I can't remember what the interstate is that goes from Birmingham
it's like 22 or something like that, up to Memphis.
Yeah, but once you get into Tennessee, then it's no longer interstate.
Right.
And
Lamar.
we literally drove that whole stretch in one day. It was 1,102 miles in one day.
Yeah, I've driven from here.
That was the longest drive I've ever driven.
Driven from here to Dallas. The longest I've ever done was Chicago to Corpus Christi. All right. When you hit the Texas border,
Yeah.
you're halfway there. basically.
Now, the second longest one I've done was Arkansas or Pine Bluff, Arkansas to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in one shot.
Now, those
And we did that one during the middle of the night, so that when we hit Atlanta, there was like no traffic.
I prefer driving at night with no traffic, especially places like Atlanta. So, which brings me to an announcement.
Yeah, Atlanta's traffic is horrible.
There will probably not be a live stream next Friday because I'll be at my son's house in Tennessee. So, unless I get the opportunity to do a live stream from his house, but I don't think I will. So, we're going to be pretty busy. In one stretch, Artie, I don't think so. We're talking about in one stretch. I would say that LA to Miami and back in one stretch would be physically to drive would be physically impossible.
Lincoln Act, Joe, that must have been some drive.
To Palmetto, Joe, that's just down the street from me. It weighs up 30 miles, maybe. You drive right
Well,
past
what
me.
I remember is when we drove back off of our cruise in 2014, we got off the boat about 8 o'clock that morning Eastern time, and we didn't make it back home till almost 2 o'clock in the morning Central time.
Yeah.
And literally all we stopped for was bathroom breaks and somewhere to eat.
Yeah, but Chicago to Corpus Christi, there's 4 of us in our college years, and that was 21 or 22 hours.
Yeah.
The only thing we stopped for was gas. So. All right. What time is it? 1:17. Are we ready?
1:17.
An hour and 17 minutes.
That's how long. He doesn't go, Jason. He doesn't go over 2 hours on a stream.
Oh, come on! You got to beat Amanda's record.
No, I don't.
I think
Did you know how long?
I think I go the longest. I've gone the longest, aren't I, Steve? No,
Andy.
How many hours, Lee?
I've gone. The longest I've done is a 4-hour stream.
Okay, Amanda was hosting me on her live stream last Friday, a week ago, and we went almost 4.5 hours.
Oh, so you beat me.
Not me. Okay. My next mail call is I gotta find it. Oh.
You need to have some organisation, Steve.
Well, I open things up during the week. I don't want to do a heat and take 4 hours to open a box.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it looks like you got brand new skyscrapers there behind you. You know, these boxes, I mean, they're starting to turn into high rises.
those are all the buildings from Aurora. That's all the Aurora buildings back there. Those are the buildings that belong over there. So, but anyway, so I decided somebody had tried out some liquid electrical tape. I don't know if anybody's tried it or not. I said, that could be something I could probably try out.
I've heard about it. I've been meaning to try and check it out.
You get in some small wiring, get into some 28, 30, 32 gauge wiring and try to use shrink tubing and so forth. And that become problematic. So I decided to go ahead and order me some and so I got in some liquid electrical tape
Mhm.
for the basic purpose of wiring in. I have all these street lights. These are double head, and I got some single headed ones as well. And the double headed ones I'm using on the station platform in Aurora. And the wires drop down through the lid and underneath there, and it was uh, anticipated to be problematic. So I went ahead and got some of this stuff, so I didn't have to use heat shrink tubing. And while I had everything apart and everything, I got it all together, and then I decided, that ain't gonna work. So I took everything apart and redid some stuff and put it together a different way. Again, using this, and it works pretty good. So anyway, that was something I got from Amazon. It's just Starbrite liquid electrical tape with applicator brush.
Oh, I'll have to go and have a look at that. Is it on Amazon?
Yep. Starbrite liquid electrical tape. Just run a search for liquid electrical tape.
Yeah,
Find it.
So a lot of manufacturers use them for making signals.
Okay. John saying it's almost time for my nap time. Nap time is 2:00.
Yeah, he doesn't go over 2 hours.
We got a half an hour left on the stream. 40 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. He usually goes on
Joe,
that.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It will make a great insulator, especially like you get in some of the locomotives that have all that weight and stuff, and it's metal. Simply coating that stuff may save a decoder from frying.
Yeah, you could do that.
At least that's what I'm thinking. So it's another tool in the toolbox. That's the way I look at it.
Yep.
Just don't get it down in the motor.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. And you got to be careful because it drips. That applicator when it's new, and that stuff's all the way up on the top of the brush, and you really need to watch the dripping. The first time I went to use it, I had crap everywhere. It looked like black blood flowing everywhere. Yep. All right, Artie. You take care. Get some good sleep.
Take care, Artie.
Later, Artie. Looks like we're not going to have a train today.
I wondered why you were looking behind you.
So, Lee, where I'm currently sitting at in this parking lot, the tracks have a bend, a slight bend.
Yeah, you've been there before, haven't you? You've been there before, I think.
Oh, I sit here every day on my lunch break. This is my go-to spot. So, and I can see for 5 miles down a straight stretch, I can see 2 blocks worth of signals. So I can tell if something's coming. I've got plenty of time to get the camera ready, get it angled. I'm not having to be rushed. If the train's coming from the other direction, I get a green signal, which means that, okay, I've got a little bit of time to have it positioned the opposite direction, and I'm not seeing green signals or a headlight.
John, that was a little tidbit. You should have told me yesterday.
I like your trains in America compared to ours. I'm going to get some next week. I'm going on a train journey on our trains, and I'm going to get some filming of our trains and put up on my channel because they're totally different to your ones.
Well, this upcoming Wednesday, I think it's this Wednesday, my rail fanning video is got Amtrak coming through 9 hours behind schedule.
Oh, we do have a version like your Amtrak. We've got it. It's called the Night Sleeper. We have it that runs at night. It's called the Night Sleeper, and it's a smaller version of your Amtrak's. It's well small. I need to get a video of it at some point.
Sure you do.
Well,
man.
Amtrak. I want to say the Texas Eagle is probably Amtrak's shortest passenger train that's running right now. I mean, I really don't know because I really don't know about the ones up in like the Cardinal or the Capital Limited. But I would assume the Texas Eagle is probably one of the shortest passenger trains that are running right now.
Other than
I
commuter.
could be wrong. Yeah, other than commuter. I'm talking about long distance.
Yeah, interstate.
You know, Chicago to San Antonio.
Yeah. In June we've got a big steam engine train thing with all the big steam trains that I'm looking forward. If I'm not working, I'm hoping to try and go to and get some footage of like the Flying Scotsman and all that. It'll be a good one to get on my channel for the state slot to see.
But no, like I said, Wednesday's video that's coming up, it's got Amtrak in it.
Cool.
5-second
Joe.
clip. From
See you later, Joe.
From the locomotive to the last car, it is gone in 5 seconds.
I like some of your trains compared to
Hey,
ours.
Randall, if you're at Mid-South Hobbies, you should have a good signal. You're in the city.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in Memphis?
Yeah. Well, if I had an O-scale SD90 Mac, it would definitely be on the shelf.
Yeah, you can't run it on your layout, Steve. That'd be impossible.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity of an Engage layout, but I don't know if I want to throw my hands at Engage. It's a bit tiny for my liking. I don't think that my sausage fingers will be able to model it.
I think it'd be cool to do a force, if you had identical engines and
Rolling stock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. If I was going to do it, if I was going to do it, it'd be up in the loft because I've got the space to do that.
That would be tricky to do. It could be doable, but it would be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be right on top of each other. It could be,
next week, I'd love to
quite a
run
ways away.
a double O gauge one side and an N gauge the other on 2 different tracks. That'd be interesting because you'd have a big train and a small train running next to each other. That'd look good, I thought.
Lionel, I know, had a train that they called it the disappearing train. It'd go into a tunnel, and you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
And then it would reappear. And it'd be longer than what the tunnel appeared, but they had a crisscross or whatever on the inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's a collector's item now because you can't find them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Lionel stuff is turning into collector's items.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of who is it that I watch? It's got Lionel. There's a YouTuber I watch. I can't think who it is. There's a couple of YouTubers I know.
Just takes so much space. I mean,
it does.
Probably saying that about us HO guys, but
yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing about Lionel is it's O gauge, which is smaller than O scale.
Yeah.
So just imagine trying to use O scale, like 2-rail O. That takes up some space.
Yeah.
the old, back when I was a kid, the train layout at the Chicago Science and Industry was 2-rail O-scale. And then they
Yeah.
redid it in the 90s, 80s and 90s to the huge HO layout. Very impressive. Anybody goes to Chicago really needs to go to the Museum of Science and Industry and see that. All right, John, have a great weekend.
Later, John.
Well, I know, like, over at the Memphis Zoo, they have an O-scale outdoor layout.
Huh?
So you would think that would be G-scale, but I was like, I got a closer look at it, and I was like, no, that's O-scale.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of O-scale trains that run outside at the zoo. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Disney at Epcot, is that O-scale or is that G-scale? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
That I don't know. Now I'll tell you something that takes up some real estate. I know a guy. Now he passed away, but I know exactly where this item is at. He built the Missouri Pacific Cape Girardeau, Missouri lift bridge. Scratch built it.
Wow.
2-scale, 2-length.
Wow.
And that bridge is like almost 100 feet long, if not a little longer than 100 feet. In like real size. Like he built all the trestles and everything.
Well, Mr. Linton,
And I think he built it out of wood.
Would want to go to Chicago since it's the rail capital of the country, if not the world.
Hello, Wigwag.
Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
How are you, Stephen?
Hey, Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. I forgot it was Stephen Wigwag. I always forget that.
It's just easier to call him WWW.
Yeah.
W and my other brother WW.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hate to do this, but I got to get back to work. My lunch break is over.
You're gonna miss the last mail.
Well, do it real quick so I can see it.
All right. This one came in from Indiana.
Ooh.
And it's an eBay purchase. And they are some old roundhouse kits.
Ooh.
I gotta build them. 2 different road numbers on the same car. 3-bay hoppers.
Oh, they're nice.
Oh, okay.
They're nice.
Those are nice.
Yeah. Of course, I got wheels I can I'll change out, couplers, and all that stuff.
What couplings are on at the moment, Steve?
Based on the age of these kits, I'm sure they're horn hooks. Yeah, they're horn hooks.
Yeah, they'll probably be horn hooks.
So I got KDs and I got metal wheel. So, in my infinite amount of free time,
You'll be changing the couplings.
I gotta build them. I gotta build those kits first. So these were before Walthers bought them, right? These old model diecast roundhouse kits, or were these bought?
You mean before
Athern bought? Okay.
Athern?
Okay.
I was about to say
Yeah,
that.
because
I thought it was Athern.
So these would have to be from the 60s then, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because Athern's lowest line is roundhouse.
Yeah. There'd be some kind of dating on them, but there's not. Anyway, I got the pair of them for $15 or something like that, plus shipping. $20, $10 a piece.
That's
So I
not
just
bad.
needed a couple more for my cold bag. I'm quickly running out of
That's not too bad.
space. Yeah, they weren't the best deal in the world, but definitely not the worst either. And I think
Well, don't feel bad. I came across. I'm waiting on it to come in. It's an E&B. Is it E&B Valley or E&B Hobby Shops or something like that? But it's a kit, and it's a Bradley Osgood passenger car, and it's the cotton belt two-tone gray. It doesn't have the number on it, so I'll have to put a number on the car. But I want to say I paid $35 for that kit, and they're kits that you don't see every day.
Yeah, they're specialty kits. There's a couple companies out there like to get a double-decker commuter car, you used to have to buy them, and they're very expensive kits. They were aluminum and aluminum ends, wood floor. They were just astronomical until Cato came out with it.
Well, Walters came out with double-decker commuters.
Yeah, after Cato, but they got the Chicago Northwestern just like and Anthony has the California double deckers. John Linton says he needs a bigger house in Tennessee. John, you've been in that house all of what, 2 months, and you're already complaining it's too small? Sounds like poor planning by a civil engineer I know. Should know these things.
Yeah.
Just need a bigger shed.
Yep.
So anyway, now I got a mobile home. I got to build. I got 2 hopper cars. Got to build. I got Aurora. I'm still building. Got a Santa Fe SD45. I got to put a decoder in. I got 2 Burlington E8s. I got to put decoders in.
You've got your work cut out then, Steve.
Yeah. I gotta quit buying shit. That's all there is to it.
Let's say,
I know what.
See, I've got that amount of
I
work,
need one.
if not more. But the difference between Steve the difference between me and Steve is Steve is retired. He's got 5 days a week or 7 days a week that he could dedicate to doing his upgrades and stuff.
Yeah. All right. Look at this layout.
I've only got
2 years. I think I'm pretty far along for 2 years.
Yeah, you are. That is. I remember when I first seen that layout, what it was like, and then what it come on. It's come on since I've been subscribed to leaps and bounds.
Mid-June will be actually 2 years. I'll do a 2-year special video on it. So
I can't think how long it took me to get this layout done. The loft one's the longest to start my channel, but this one was the shortest. I got this built in a day, and then I started getting it done. But it'll never be finished. None of the layouts I've got will ever be finished.
Well, John, when my wife found out how much a house like ours went for, she goes, if you get offered that amount of money, we're out of here. Okay. That guy offered me, he was 50,000 short. But that's where if we moved, it would be to Tennessee. So
I tell you, like when it comes to like building a layout, for me, I can get bench work and track done very quick. It's the building kits, the scenery, the details, sometimes the electronics. That takes a while to do. So
Yeah,
when you look at someone's layout and you're like, oh man, you made a lot of progress in a year, and then I kind of look at it and be like, all I did was mainly bench work and track.
Well, you haven't.
Yeah.
Your new layout isn't even a year old.
Yeah, my new one's
No.
not. But
So-
if
No,
you
it's not.
think about it, it's mostly bench work and track.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's flat.
It's flat.
I do have
That's the same with mine.
I've got one small area that's got scenery in it.
Yeah, and it looks great.
So, but that's where the more time is put in is scenery and detail.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I put on the scenery on mine. I'm working. That's what I've done those trees for. That's the area that I'm working on at the back of the layout at the moment. I've got to start filming that in a bit. Putting
John,
the
did you
trees
see
in
the
my fields.
see the locomotive running at Aurora?
All right, guys. So I gotta pop off before I get in trouble. So y'all have a great weekend. And I will
Will
see
do,
you all next
Jason.
time.
See you again.
All right,
Bye
Jason,
now.
take care.
All right, take care. Bye.
Take care.
All right, Mr. Linton.
That looks a nice loco, that, Steve.
Yeah, it's an SW.
Is it basically a shunting one?
Yeah, it's a yard switcher.
Yeah.
I usually
Is that
run
just
it.
going back and? Is that just going back and forth then?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
something I want to do on the loft.
Right now, I'm controlling it, Lee. But when I put the sensors in, it'll do that automatically.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I want to do. That's what I want to do on the loft layout. I've got an area I want to do it. I've already I planned it before I got this layout, and then I got this layout and didn't go back up there. But I'm back up there now, starting to plan stuff back up there.
And see, I was smart enough that I put a plexiglass shield at that end so that engine cannot run off the layout.
Oh, yeah, it's got to be done that way, hasn't it? Otherwise, if you take it too far, it's going to ski jump off the end.
It's so funny because you look at that engine live, and it looks like it's running really slow. But I look at the video,
It does.
and it looks like it's going really fast.
It looks how slow it's going. It looks like it's going snail pace.
It is now, but it still looks like it's going faster on the video than what it does live.
I like your Aurora build though. The builds you've done so far on the premieres have been good.
And I'm looking forward to getting it put back together.
Yeah.
It'll be back together tomorrow. Because
Yeah,
I'm probably only an hour or two away from having it done.
Yeah, I'm looking at probably going to do since I've seen your premieres, I'm looking at doing a premiere myself.
They're nice because you can have a discussion while the video is premiering for the first time.
Yeah.
Instead of just posting it up there.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking doing. I'm ready to do a big running session, and I'm thinking doing a running session that is going to be a premiere.
Now, John, you know why I've gotten more done the last 4 months than the rest of the time? Because you haven't been here to distract me to run trains. I don't run trains hardly as near as much as I used to when you were here.
That's his excuse, John, and he's sticking to it.
So what difference would that make, John? I'm trying to figure out why that would make a difference. So it should not make a difference whether it's pulling a freight car in the front or the back. I don't understand why that would make a difference.
Yeah, and I don't think it would, because it's got either way. It's either going to be pulling or dragging, isn't it?
They're infrared sensors, so anything that goes over the top of it, yeah, it doesn't matter though, John. Whether the freight car trips it, all right, or the engine trips it. One's going to trip on one side, the other's going to trip on the other side, and the distance to the ends should be equal. All right,
John, you need to learn to spell. You spelled stop wrong.
Strops. That's a Tennessee accent. He's
Is
developed a
it?
Tennessee hillbilly accent.
Okay. I'll let you off then, John.
I'm trying to see if the light bulb goes off in the engineer's head.
Oh, I've got to
He's
repair
thinking
that
about it.
loco,
He's
haven't
thinking about it.
I need to repair that loco. I bust one of me like I found out one of me loco.
Yes, it is IR.
IR.
Infrared sensors, yes.
I'm happy as well. I can operate trains from my workbench now. Could have moved me controllers, me controller. That's a class one. Oh God, Jason. Oh.
I want to see if I can find that Walther's little switcher.
Oh.
Here it is.
Have you seen what Jason's just put? Steve, you need one of those center cab switches.
Here's the one I'm going to get.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, that thing's tiny, man. And it's DCC.
It's like the one I've got. It's like the one I've got, the British Rail one I've got.
And since there's no switches up there, so there's no frogs to worry about. It should be perfect for that application up there. And like I said, it looks like a little Plymouth, but it's got half the size or 2/3 the size of the old Bachmann or AHM Plymouth switchers.
That's a little shunter one I've got. British Rail shunter.
GG1. All right, John, you got to go to lunch. Okay.
See you later, John. Yeah, that's more of a British Rail. That's got the British Rail sign on it.
Oh yeah. That's
a little shunt. It is.
The other option I have, but I'd have to get yet another decoder. Is I have
it all works out decoders all the time, doesn't it, Steve?
Galloping Goose. Yeah, going down Aurora. No, I got real trolley that would look good going back and forth on there too.
Yeah,
but
that would.
the idea is this is going to be over running around on Chicago. All right.
Yeah, that'll look good running round on Chicago.
And this is going to stay DC because it'll be like a loop running around there. And
all you do is you just leave the controller going one way and just have it going complete in a circle, don't you?
Yeah, well, I'll have all the controls on the fascia down there. So
Yeah. Any
kids that come by can run this one.
Yeah. That's the way I've done it now. I've got my control panel I need to do a video of it. I have actually made a control station now by my workbench.
It's going to go around Union Station, Jason. It'll basically, Union Station sits right here. All right. And it's open here and there's a glass shed right in this area. But it'll go around here and then back around the back side of Union Station and then back through the post office that sits over here. And then it'll run inside these buildings along the backdrop here. Okay. So it'll come out here into view, run around Union Station, all right, and go back out of view. All right, Randall, take care. Drive safe.
Later, Randall. You're at an hour and 51, Steve.
Yeah, we got 9 minutes, people. Time to promote your channels. Don't forget, 3:30 Eastern time is Anthony Dodge. And
on Sunday, I'm on live. Sunday, I'm live to do my modelling Sunday hangout.
Sunday noon Eastern is Lee's modeling with friends.
Yeah. There may be a guest. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. What am I? Chopped liver?
No, there may be a guest coming on. I'm in speaking terms with him, and you do know him. He has got a channel.
Oh, okay. Don't forget Cousin Vinny's tonight. You got GSW Trains is also tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thank you for having me come up.
You're another contest at 1250. Wow. I said when I hit 1,000, I'd give away a locomotive. I'm just burning it up at 232.
I can see me going to 6 by summer.
All right, Hillbilly.
Well, thank you for
there will be the Aurora. The upper scene for Aurora should be part 15. Will be done.
Is that going up as a video or premiere?
Yeah, part 15 will be Tuesday. Okay.
Premiere or.
And there'll be 2 more. There'll be at least 2 more episodes after that. Wow, Steven's up to 956. Cool.
I know he is. I couldn't believe when I seen what he was up to. I'll tell you who has gone up subs. He's jumped to 650 subs.
Who's that?
Somerset Andy, because everyone's wanting to sub to him to watch his content.
Oh,
because he's no longer here.
Right. Or maybe 20 more parts. Yeah, John. I'm just for Aurora. Building Aurora. It should be 3. Part 15, 16, 7, probably 17.
Yeah,
before I get in, and I don't know. I make the freight yard area there in front. I don't know. I may include that as part of building Aurora. Plus, I have the area down by the ice house. And now the motorhome, yeah, I could easily get 20, 25 more episodes. So
I've got some editing to do as well, Steve. I've got on an area I'm recently working on. I'm not looking forward to editing it because I think I've got to do some clipping of it.
So Steven, you're gonna give us a teaser. What's your new build on? Give us a teaser.
Yeah, give us a teaser, Steve. Come on.
Maybe not.
No, he's leaving us in suspense.
Well, there's a long delay too, so you never know. All right.
There is between seizure.
Yeah. Want to thank you all for joining me here. Oh, Railroad Kits, Iron Horse, Iron Rose Antiques. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, when I get into building suburbia here, I'll be more of the town type kits instead of industries. So, anyway, hey everybody, I want to thank you for joining us here at the Retirement Railroad Friday live stream and mail call hall. So, you all, I want to thank you for joining us, and you all have a great day. We'll see ya.